Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Today is Friday, and it's also February the 19th, which means it is a huge day for General Hospital. They're just getting the action started, so let's get right to it as I adjust my glasses like an awesome movie person. At the Metro Corps, Morgan texted Kiki, and she texted back, "Who is this?" Cold-blooded. I love it. And Kiki's upset, obviously, and Lucas comes to pick her up. She tells him Morgan isn't coming, so Kiki tells Lucas the whole Darby story, and she thinks he went off his medication, and Lucas agrees, and he also makes the point that Morgan made the choice to be off his medication and played fast and loose with his health. Speaking of, like, being on medication and off of it, for a few days ago, and especially in this beginning of this week, I was in such a lot of pain. I think I told you that. And I actually did take medication, and like I can just feel the difference between when I did this then and like today when like I'm not on anything, but my back does hurt a little bit, so we will see. At Sunny's place, Morgan is moving out, and he has to make the biggest deal of it, and Morgan gives Sunny a hard time for firing him and then going to the wedding for Christina, and Sunny tells him to go ahead and move out and totally supports the idea. Like, he's not giving in to anything Morgan is like lashing out with, and I think Morgan is looking for a fight. But Sunny, he asks if he has any jobs lined up, and Morgan's like, yeah, with Julia and Jerome. Prod. But Sunny points out that he may have a problem because he did cheat on Julian's niece. And Morgan's like, fine, maybe I'll get a job with Jax. Prod. And Sunny talks to him about this disorder and how he's looking to lash out. Like, Sunny can see what he's doing because he lived it. You're not going to get anything past Sunny because Sunny knows exactly what you're going through. Just saying. So Sunny says he knows Morgan isn't taking his medication, and at first Morgan kind of goes off and denies, like, and then, he's like, fine, I'm not taking my medication, it's my body, what are you gonna do about it? And he's yelling, he's just totally, and Sunny says that Morgan can't be in the house like this because of Avery, and Morgan's like, what, you think I'm gonna hurt Avery? Ha. It's like, notch. And Sunny said also he can't stand by and watch him hurt himself. Morgan has to want to help himself. And after Sunny leaves the room, Morgan sits on the couch and cries, something I totally relate to. And then Morgan leaves because he feels Sunny doesn't think he's actually going to leave, so he's going to leave to spite him. And Sunny calls Max to confirm that he will be at the pier at midnight to, see all the goings-ons. At the Haunted Star, Olivia comes to see Lulu. Lulu is a bit off about Olivia being in on that whole MetroCourt thing with Maxie and Nathan. And Lulu wants to give her a hard time, but Olivia just wants to know how it went. What are you doing? How'd it go? What step did you get up to? How'd the article go? Maxie remembered to read the article, right? And Lulu says that they're talking, and Olivia's so happy. And, like, I'm happy, too. I never thought something as simple as we're talking could just make me so happy. And Lulu says that they have to leave because the boat is rented out and they're not supposed to be there. But Olivia wants to talk more and get more information. And Lulu says that they're going to keep talking and see what happens. At the PCPD, Dante asks for Anna's help with the arms runners in Port Charles. And I think this may be the first time Anna's hearing about it. And he tells her everything he knows so far. And he wants to know who she thinks the big main person is. And when she's talking about everything Paul is having her do, she seems to have a realization of maybe how Paul fits into this whole thing. And Paul interrupts them, as he does, and Anna gives him his picture back. And Paul asks Anna what she's going to do with the information he gave her yesterday. It's a lot of information to go through. So Anna wants Paul to help her bring Carlos in, and Paul's like, hey, well then Carlos is going to use what he has against, you and me, and like have a plea bargain. And Anna's like, well, if it means Carlos goes to prison, then I guess I'll go to prison too. Totally calling Paul on his bluff. Misha was just like in my face, so like there's cat hair everywhere. So Lulu comes to the station and she tells Dante that Olivia stopped by, and they have a really nice moment, which is just them standing and not being mean to each other. Again, it's the simple things that make me happy. So Lulu tells Dante he was right, and she's moving, but not to the Haunted Star, and she's moving in with Nicholas, and he apologizes for being the way he was, and says, you know, she's a great mother, and he knows she would never do anything to put Rocco in harm's way, and she's headed back to the Haunted Star to clear out the rest of her stuff, because she forgot a few things. No, don't go back, Lulu! Bad things happen! So at the pier, Ava and Paul, darn, I almost had this in perfect order. No, this is before. Yes. Shoot. Okay, this happens before Paul is at the PCPD, I think. Shoot. Yes, this happens before Paul is at the PCPD. Alright, so Ava and Paul are down at the pier. She wants to stay in the background, but that's not an option, and Dixon wants to meet her personally, and haha, he's right there. So Ava tells him she can't be there because her brother's getting married, and Dixon's like, well, isn't that suspect? Like, you're not gonna be here? Like, how do you think that makes me feel? You hurt my feelings. That's not what he said. But Ava shows him the invitation and is like, look, this has been in the works for months or a few weeks. Like, I've already had this date. You can see it right here. Well, not right here. And he's like, oh, okay. Okay. So just show an arms dealer your wedding invitation. Just always have one with you. Sorry, that wasn't funny, but for some reason it made me laugh. So she makes her case for not being there, and he concedes and says, well, I'll know where to find you. Back at the PCPD, Dixon calls Paul and tells him to get there 30 minutes before the meeting, and Anna accuses Paul of running guns and diverting PCPD resources so he can't get caught, and Paul tells her that he's running a sting against Raj. This is where it gets a bit interesting. So he says he's working with the Department of Justice and needs Anna's help to coordinate with the ATF, and he wants her help to arrange backup. And she's like, how did you not arrange like, what? How, like, incompetent are you? So I was like, could this be real? But then I was like, I'm like, pretty sure it's not. Like, I'm like, because he's done so many other things, and he had Sunny Shot. So, like, I don't think that would be cleared by the Department of Justice, but you never know. So I'm like 90% it's fake, 10% maybe it's real. Tell me what you think, because I don't know. I get caught up in the moment, and then, like, I go back and, like, think about things. But my memory really only lasts, like, 3 weeks of episodes, and then it gets blurry. So Anna asks us about Sunny, and Paul says that Sunny has no idea this is going on. And she's like, really? This is, like, his territory. You don't think he's gonna know someone's running guns in his territory? Really? So Anna wants to make sure Sunny stays out of it. At Alexis's house, Alexis is buzzing around trying to get ready, and Christina notices Molly is acting different. Oh my goodness. I see the writing on the wall, and I don't like it. So Julian comes in, Sam comes in, and Sam kicks Julian out. Molly delegates everyone's responsibilities. Diane rushes in and says that she doesn't want Alexis to get married. She's so dramatic. And then she's like, JK, I'm super happy for you, but you beat me to the altar, and that makes me angry, but not really. So Molly, okay, now for the, something blue, borrowed, old, new, and whatever. So Molly gives Alexis ribbons she used to dye in her hair, blue. Christina gives her a family picture, new. Sam gives Alexis a Hot Wheels Camaro, ha ha ha. And Alexis is like, what? And Molly's like, I think it was Molly, maybe it was Christina. It was like, what, you don't recognize it from the back seat? Old. So, I mean, it's haha. That's actually, like, my favorite thing, because it was just really cute. Diane gives Alexis handcuffs, borrowed, but I'm not sure I would want those. And Christina, oh wait, is that only 4 things? I guess it's only 4 things. I feel like there was 5. And then Christina, like, walks away. Molly, I don't know, she says something about, like, the handcuffs and whatever else was in the box that Diane gave Alexis. And Christina's like, oh, you finally did it. You had sex. Thanks, Christina. Like, does Christina remember what she was like as a teenager? Because, like, I can't. Like, Christina is kind of obnoxious. I love Lexi Ainsworth to death. I love her, and I love that Christina's back. but a tad obnoxious. So Alexis is crying, Molly's embarrassed, Sam's hugging her, and Diane is just sitting there drinking champagne, taking in the scene, going, this is why I didn't have children, and this is why I will not have children. And in that moment, we were all Diane. I'm just kidding. I was Diane. So, Christina, okay, anyway. I already said all that stuff. I just said it out of order. Anyway, so Molly assures Alexis that, they used protection, he was a gentleman, and, Alexis is kind of asked, and, she's like, I want you girls to know you can tell me anything, and Molly's like, oh, well, speaking of we can tell you anything, Christina, don't you have something to tell Mom? And hands it right back to Christina, and, like, I have mixed feelings because I'm 100% against outing anyone, but this wouldn't be totally uncalled for based on this specific situation, because, and it's not even, she doesn't even have to out the whole lesbian, maybe just like the suspension, although, yeah, maybe just a suspension thing, and it's not home study, so not necessarily outing, it could be the suspension thing, but like, Christina, why do you dish it if you can't take it? I don't understand. Like, okay, just saying, I'm going to go a little bit of tangent and then we're going right back. But, like, if you're harboring not one, but, like, 2 huge secrets, why are you going out of your way to provoke someone and, like, out them for, like, their first experience? Like, I don't get it. You'd be extra nice to them, especially if they know both your secrets. Like, it just... Anyway, back at the Metro Corps, Ava and Julian arrive. They're having a Jerome family meeting. Kiki and Lucas are there. If you remember, we're like back there. They toast to the wedding. Lucas is proud of Julian for distancing himself from his old life. Kiki tells Ava Morgan cheated on her again and they're over for good. And then they hug. So maybe this is the first, well, they've already taken steps. Maybe this will be a leap into fixing their relationship, because they've already taken steps to, like, dabble in relationship fixing, but maybe this will be like a push. Where was I? Lucas, we learned that Lucas wrote a letter to Julian, but before he knew him, and when he was 14 and he was realizing he was different, and writing the letter helped him work through it without potentially losing the father he had in his life. So he gives him the letter. He says you can, like, wait until after the wedding to read it, and, like, he just wanted Julian to know that, like, he was a dad to him before he was there. So that was actually really sweet. Olivia comes over and apologizes for freaking out. And Kiki ignores Morgan's call. Morgan is leaving a message that he's not a screw-up and he's going to handle a situation. Back at the Haunted Star, Lulu walks in and apologizes to Raj for the intrusion. She just needs to get a few things. She knows it's the gun and tries to leave, but he grabs her and holds a gun to her head. This is why you don't go back. At the end, we're at the end scene. Alexis thinks Christina's pregnant, and Christina's like, no. But you know what? The real thing can wait till after the wedding. Again, why dish it if you can't take it? But they all cry and hug, and it's sweet. Even though it didn't sound like it, by the way I said it. Dante calls Lulu to ask if she needs help moving. Lulu is taped. Her mouth is taped, and she's handcuffed to a table. Not the same handcuffs that Diane, not those kind. Anna rushes into Sunny's place to talk to him, but he's not there. Paul arrives 30 minutes ahead of time, which means it's approximately 5:30 time on General Hospital. That's what we're all about here on We Should Sing, trying to figure out the timeline. And Dixon tells him the crates are gonna land, and Paul has the money, and Dixon's like, well, you don't mind if I count it? And then Morgan's there and has a gun. Because bad things happen when Morgan has a gun. Not one good thing has ever happened when Morgan has a gun. But it is Friday. Next week is going to be a crazy week on General Hospital. I will be here all week. Let me look at my calendar. Oh, yes, I will be here all week. I have no events planned. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. But what do you think is going to happen next week? I foresee a lot of stuff. Do you think if something potentially happens to Lulu, it could just bring her and Dante back together and they can skip steps 5 through 10 and just be back together? Although maybe skipping steps might not be the best for them. They should go through the steps. It's good for them. And do you think Morgan is going to hurt someone he doesn't mean to? There's so much so much going on, so many moving parts. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And yeah. I will see you Monday for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great day. Bye.